membrane covering all of this. Do you guys remember what that was called? The greater omentum. Now, here's what you need to understand. It was not called the greater omentum because it's large. It was called the greater omentum because it was attached right here to the greater curvature of the stomach, which is going to help you then with the lesser omentum, because the lesser omentum is attached to the lesser curvature of the stomach. This is the stomach right here. This is the greater curvature. This is the lesser curvature right here, okay? This membrane, which kind of looks like it goes between the liver, this lobe of the liver here, called the caudate lobe, and the lesser curvature of the stomach, that is called the lesser omentum, okay? So greater curvature, greater omentum. Lesser curvature, lesser omentum, okay? So that is that membrane. This membrane right here, if you kind of pull apart the intestines a little bit, you'll notice that there's a membrane that has all kinds of nerves and blood vessels, okay? This is the true mesentery, okay? And that is kind of holding the, looks like it's holding the small intestine together, although that's not really what it's doing. And then the last of the membranes we're going to look at is along the dorsal body wall. See this nice shiny appearance right here? We're going to remove all of this. Okay, that's called the dorsal mesentery. And here it also comes up and kind of holds the, looks like it holds the large intestine in place. This is called the dorsal mesentery. It covers the entire dorsal body wall. No, it really doesn't. Okay, and it covers the entire dorsal body wall. Here's a bunch of it right here too. We're going to remove all of that, okay, just not today. Okay? So those are the three membranes that we have left. Okay, so now we've done all the membranes. Okay, now as far as the organs are concerned, we have our stomach right here, which we learned about yesterday, but I wanted to point out the three sections of the stomach. Okay, the the esophagus comes into the stomach right here. Okay, this is the entrance of the esophagus right down here. And so this is the cardiac portion of the stomach. This dome-shaped part of the stomach over here that kind of comes laterally, that is called the fundus or fundic region. And then the end of the stomach right here where it goes into the small intestine, that is called the pylorus or pyloric region. Okay, so we've got the three regions, the cardiac, the fundic, and the pyloric regions. Okay, now we also have our small intestine right here. Okay, there's three sections of small intestine. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. The beginning of the small intestine is called the duodenum. Okay, now what you do to find the duodenum is you just go to the end of the stomach right here, and then here's the duodenum. The duodenum is the first probably 3 inches or so. Okay, now one of the things you'll notice right away as you look at the duodenum, it's not as curly as the rest of it is. Okay, the rest of it is really twisted and curly and all that kind of stuff. The duodenum just has kind of a real mellow curve to it. Okay, and that's the first probably 3 to 4 inches.
Duodenum is the first 3 inches.
Gentlemen, 5 please. Okay, so the first probably 3-4 inches maybe. Okay, then the next couple of inches next few inches is the jejunum. Okay, now here's the confusing part. It's really hard to separate the jejunum from the ileum. The ileum is the end of the small intestine. Okay, but what I'm going to do, and I'm not interested in tricking you guys. Okay, so this is obviously the end of the small intestine and the beginning of the large intestine. Can you guys see that T? Looks like a little T intersection right there. Okay, so if I want the ileum, I'm going to put the pin right here where it's obvious that I want the ileum. I'm not going to sneak around and put the pin right here where you're kind of going, is that ileum or is that jejunum? What does he want here? I'm going to make it obvious which one I want. So I would put the pin right here at where it's obvious that's the very end of the small intestine. That's called the ileum. Okay. If I stick a pin right here, you're going to assume that I'm just going to want the jejunum. Okay, the middle of the small intestine. Okay, and as we pointed out before, pretty obvious that this right here is the large intestine. Okay, now the last thing we're going to take a look at is the pancreas. If we lift up the stomach, the pancreas is different on a cat than it is on a human being. Okay, in a human being we have this lobe right here. This is called the transverse lobe of the pancreas on the cat. Okay, let me do this left-handed. So here's the, it kind of looks like hamburger meat.
Okay.
But it's a little bit more pale than hamburger. Maybe ground turkey. Maybe maybe like pork sausage. I don't know. Okay. So shh. So this is the transverse lobe of the pancreas. Cats have another lobe of the pancreas right here along the duodenum. So what would that be called?
The
Duodenal lobe.
Yeah.
See how easy this is? Okay? The pancreas, the part of the pancreas that's right along the duodenum is called the duodenal lobe. Okay? And that's right here. No tricks. That's right there. Okay? Now, that's it for the organs for today. Okay? Now we're going to throw in some muscles. You guys, when we made our mid-sagittal cut, we cut along the linea alba. This group actually cut a little bit off the linea alba. You can actually see the linea alba right here. What we did was we cut between the two rectus abdominis muscles. So right here is rectus abdominis, right here is rectus abdominis. Okay? On the inside is the transversus abdominis right here, actually a little bit further up. Okay? Okay. Rectus abdominis, if you guys remember from December when we were naming muscles, rectus means that the fibers are parallel to the midline of the body, okay? So rectus abdominis, transversus abdominis, muscle fibers going this way, okay? Here we have the muscle fibers going at an angle to the midline of the body, so we call these the external obliques. And if these are the external obliques, that means these. Internal. See how easy this is? Come on, guys. Yeah, this is pretty easy. Okay, now, another muscle that we have right here, you can tell kind of a V-shaped muscle right here that we've kind of cut a little bit, okay? And here it is on this side. It's not real obvious on this cat, but on some of the cats it is very, very obvious. This V-shaped muscle right here is called the xiphi humerales. Looks like we kind of had a little whoops right here on the xiphi humerales. Okay, the xiphi humerales. And the last muscle that you're responsible for, if you pull down the liver a little bit, you can see that dome-shaped muscle in there, okay, that really separates the abdominal pelvic cavity from the thoracic cavity up here. That's called the diaphragm. Okay, that muscle's called the diaphragm.
That's a big one.
Okay, and that's sitting right on top of the liver. Okay, so those are the features that you're responsible for knowing by the end of the period today. And we're going to add some more tomorrow. Okay? So, any questions?
Booker, you done cutting stuff. You messed